Hey team, Mike here from the Retail Leadership Lab. Hey, hope everything's going well for you out there. Today we're going to talk about a couple of different subjects, but we're going to start right in on customer service, customer experience, the guest experience, like whatever you want to call it, right? We're going to talk about like that experience through the lens of has the employer or the team member been set up to serve them the best. So this takes me back a little bit. Like when I was a young kid, I had one little brother, and my little brother was a huge Mets fan, but specifically he loved Darryl Strawberry. So then when Darryl Strawberry got traded to the Dodgers, he was so excited because we were West Coast kids. We went to a lot of Dodgers games, and now he was going to get to see his hero in person on the regular. And he had this photo ball. So he had a ball with Strawberry's picture on it that he took everywhere with him. And we went to a game, and we got there early, and we were sitting pretty close to the field, like 5-6 rows back, and Darryl came up and started signing autographs. And my little brother got in line, and he was had his ball, and he was next, and then Darryl kind of took his hands and waved and hey, I got to get inside. It's time for me to be in the dugout. The game's gonna get started. And so he had to let my brother and all the kids behind him down. My dad quickly grabbed a ball, tossed it to Darryl and said, "Mr. Strawberry, one more." And then he caught the ball, he smiled at my father, and he tossed it back. And he would say, "Hey, if I do one more for you, I have to get the rest of the line too. Enjoy the game." He wasn't rude, he wasn't mean, he wasn't nasty, he wasn't any of those things, but he didn't sign the ball. Now I want to contrast that inside of the same city limits at the theme park that we all know and you either love or you hate, or maybe it's a political punching bag now, depending on what your thoughts are. But at Disney theme parks, I want to fast forward several years into the future, and we were there as a family. So my wife and I, and oldest son, daughter, next oldest child, and then our at the time our youngest, who's now our middle of 5. And so we're at the theme park, and my daughter really loved princesses at this time. Particularly, she loved Belle. And so we got inside a theme park, and she asked me to buy her one of those $35 autograph book, which, to be clear, is just a puffy notebook with a castle on the front and some blank pages that you can get character signatures in. And as we're moving through the park and we get over to where all the castles are, sure enough, Belle's standing out there signing autographs. And we wait in line, and it's deja vu. The whole thing's happening again. My daughter's 2 or 3 people from the front this time. At least she's not the very front person like my brother was when we was younger. But she's 2 or 3 people from the front, and she's about to get her autograph. She's so excited. And then somebody comes up, a team member comes up in a vest and turns to all the group and say, hey, I'm so sorry. They need Belle in the Enchanted Forest now. And then this teenager in this Belle costume just scampers off and goes to the Enchanted Forest. And my wife and I are bracing ourselves. We're quite certain that our daughter is going to be really sad and hurt and frustrated and probably cry. And it's not going to be a great rest of the day. But she turns to us and she says, they need her in the Enchanted Forest. And she's like, what can we do? So we hugged her, we moved on, and later she got some other autographs, and sure enough, later that night, there was another teenager in a Belle suit, and we got her to sign it. And everything worked out great. The contrast here is, Dodger Stadium did not have a system set up to protect the players. Had they had a similar system set up where somebody else came along, it's the players need to stop signing autographs now, it's time for the game, it would have put Mr. Strawberry and my brother's idolhood of him in a completely different spot. Disney has thought through the experience to the level that not only how does it impact their guests, but how does it impact their team members that are serving and delighting the guests and creating magical experiences. So what are you doing as a leader? Are you closer to what the Dodgers are doing, or maybe even worse? Or are you creating that Disney-like experience that takes care of everybody? And really, this falls under the ban in the 7 laws of retail leadership of no surprises. Have you created a predictable, systematic, routine-driven operation that protects the guest experience and keeps employees engaged and protects their experience? And if not, what steps can you start taking today? Like, these are the questions that I would ask yourself. It's like, are you putting yourself in a situation where your team members have to let guests down? If so, correct that immediately. Do your team members feel empowered to do what is necessary to win the guest, win the moment? Like, are they in a position where like they can make at least some small level of adjustment, like, to win that conversation? So for years, I worked for the Tats giant H&R Block. I spent 13 seasons there, and we used to talk about that a lot. We used to talk about like the ability to win the last 2 feet, or that 2 feet that separates the client and the person providing service to the client. So employee and customer, and in any other relationship, right? Like, and so we empowered our tax professionals, CPAs, tax attorney, enrolled agents, those people who are doing tax return. We empower them with the ability to drive some level of discounting every single year. So they didn't have to get a 5, a 10, a 15, a small discount. They didn't have to call a leader order to do that. Like, it's really hard for somebody to look like they're the expert and that you should trust them with your financials year round, and then they don't even have the ability to give somebody a $5, $10, $15 discount. Like, it just contradicts everything. So empower your people, create systems that are predictable, where there are not surprises, and empower them. And I think if you do that, like you'll find yourself less in like law number 2 of the 7 laws of retail leadership, where team members are complaining a bunch. So it's super easy to say no complaining, but are you creating an environment where people feel empowered? So one more story about the Disney operation and like what they do to empower the team. So early in my leadership career, I happened to be attending a corporate seminar where we had a keynote speaker. Shout out to Dr. Belle, Dr. Chip Belle, excuse me. Shout out to Dr. Chip Belle. So Dr. Chip Belle is like an amazing keynote speaker. If you haven't heard his stuff, all his stuff, I encourage you to go do that. He's awesome. But so he gave a keynote on the guest experience, and he talked a lot about a lot of iconic brands. But he talked a little bit about the Disney brand, and he talked about like he had some neighbor kids, and they were like 5 and 3 years old, and they were gonna go to Disney, and they like lived in Texas. They were gonna get in the family roadster and make the trip. They were gonna do their version of National Lampoon's Vacation. And so he told him, he said, okay, when you get back, come tell me about the experience. And when they came back, like, they told him all about the experience. And they told him that, hey, like, we had an amazing experience. It was super fun. And he said, well, break that down for me. And they said, well, we drove forever to get there. And he said, that doesn't sound fun. And then he said, well, we waited in line forever when we got there. And he said, well, that doesn't sound fun. And then he said, like what happened next? And he said, well, then when we got inside, like, Dad bought us each a stuffed animal, and they were super excited about that. One of them got a Donald, one of them got a Mickey, and then they were like really quick to kind of rush to what happened next. So like, we ate some food, we rode some rides, we went back to the hotel. And he said, man, I think they rushed through the best part. And then he talked a little bit more about like what happened the next day. Oh, we went out, we rode some rides, we ate some food, we got back to the hotel. Say, man, yeah, I think you guys are rushing through the best part of the experience. And the kid's like, no, but do you know what happened when we got back to the hotel? Like, Donald and Mickey were sitting on the bed watching TV. They had the remote control in their hand, the TV channel for moving. And then on the third day, like, you guys know where this is going, right? Like, we rode some rides, ate some food, went back to the room. And Mickey and Donald were brushing their teeth. So the water was gently running, and they each had a toothbrush in the hand there in the bathroom sink. And by day 3, like, Mickey and Donald are like tying the bed sheets together and trying to leave the room to go find the kids. But here's the moment right here, right? So then these 2 little boys, they look through this like barbed wire fence at Dr. Chip Belle, and they're like, and ever since we got home, these animals ain't done nothing. So Disney promised a magical experience, right? And I think we can all agree that in this particular instance, like, these young boys believe magic happened in that theme park, in the hotel adjacent to that theme park, that these stuffed animals came to life. Like, and who did that? Of course, the housekeeping team is the one that did that. Like, they're the ones with the access to the room. Like, you and I, we know that, right? Like, we know, like, how about your team? Is your team so empowered that they could go do that? That they could mess the bed up, tie the sheets together, and let the stuffed animals do it themselves. That they could leave the water running, that they could leave the TV on. Like, have you empowered your team to make those little decisions? Say, like, because if you have, like, they will win. So part of that ties into that, like, law number 3, like, build ridiculous belief. If everybody knows that the most important thing is we want to create a magical experience, right? Then they stop thinking about the small things like, oh, like the water will be running, or they're going to need to call for sheets, or like the TV remote batteries might run out over time, or the neighbor might hear the TV and be frustrated. Like, no, they're just trying to create a magical experience for these kids, and bringing those stuffed animals to life is magical. Like, they're just trying to protect the team members. They never want a guest out in the park to feel like that Belle told them no specifically, right? Like man, like all of you out there that have been to a baseball game before, like, like catching a foul ball, getting an autograph, those things, being there for special moments, walk-off home runs, no hitters, immaculate innings, all that stuff, like that's super exciting. But it's even more exciting, like when you are an active participant, not just a spectator, right? So that gets me to, like, I just spent this past weekend running in the Chicago Marathon. Like couple of things that I have on my mind, like coming away from that, as I think about like that marathon and the whole overall like experience and totality of it, and how it plays into what I do every day, which is like try to share little nuggets so that each of you can show up and be the best versions of yourself, and hopefully get bigger and better results than you've ever gotten before, and drive bigger and better customer experiences and guest experiences and team member experiences than you've ever driven before. That's my little stamp on the world that I want to make. I'm probably not very good at it, and you can all hit the comments and tell me just how horrible I am at it. But like that's what I try to do. So one of the things that I was thinking a little bit about, like when you think about like marathons and life and like other events, like if you run a marathon, it's the only place I can think of. Now you can probably tell me others. Like again, hit the comments and tell me how wrong I am. But like if I go to an amazing basketball game and I see LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant do something amazing, as a spectator, like that's awesome. I feel like I was there. I was sitting close. Basketball arenas are tight. They're intimate. Like you can see a lot of stuff. Same thing, hockey, the ice. Like you can see a lot of stuff. You feel like you're close to it. But I had the opportunity this past Sunday to stand on the exact same starting line and run the exact same 26.2 miles and be on the course at the same time as Connor Mantz was when he broke the United States record for a marathon. Like let that sink in. Like big boy me, like middle-aged, middleweight me was on the exact same start line, the exact same finish line during the exact same race where the world record was broken. So you talk about like Teddy Roosevelt's like man in the arena. Like I really felt like the man in the arena. Even though like my time was over twice as long as it took Connor to do that. Like let's be clear here, I don't think that I am like on the same level as him. Like marathons have created an experience that put 54,000 people in Chicago on the same start line where an American record was broke. Like and Jacob Kiplima, he had an amazing day too. Like he was the winner of the race, and we were on the same start line, the same finish line that he was. So like that's like super cool. So like how do you build like that level of dream like with your team where they feel like they're not just spectators to you as the leader and the things you want to do, but they're like active participants. Like they're out there doing the same stuff at the same time when you're doing it, and like they're completely involved. Because I think that's really different. I think like the idea that if my boss gets an island, I get a lake house, like I'm involved, like I'm invested, like that really drives a different level of belief. And when you can show me the supporting math, like, hey Mike, you can run this many miles in this period of time, like that just drives and deepens that belief, deepens that commitment, makes me want to run through a wall, makes me want to go get amazing things done for my leader. It's like, what are you doing to move your team from spectator to participant. Like what are the active things that you're doing, not passive things, not things that the company is doing and that you're allowing to happen, but what are the active things that you are doing that would do that. So while we're on the topic of marathons, so Connor Mann said that his coach challenged him with 4 things, and I thought these 4 things were worth sharing with the audience here. So, and hit the comments, tell me what you think of these 4 things. So he said that his coach told him, hey, if you I think you're going to do amazing, but I think it's going to come down to doing these 4 P's, and he said, so I want you to go out and I want you to execute against these 4 P's, and I think if you do these 4 P's really well, you're gonna have a shot to not only break the record, but break the record by a bunch. You're gonna go and you are gonna have a really big day. And he's so P number one is patience. Then P number two is pace. And then P number 3 is present. And then P number 4 is push. So let's unpack that just a little bit. How could that apply in retail and in business? I think that we want things to happen overnight. We need the sales, we need sales up, we need shrink down, we need employee engagement up, we need turnover down. Or if I'm running a small business, I need my numbers to be better because I really do want to keep doing basic things like having a roof over my head and lights on, and if you have kids like me, the internet needs to work and needs to be fast, right? And I enjoy eating on a regular basis, so do I get to do those things? And in order to do those things, I need to have revenue. So patience is sometimes it's rare, right? So do I have the patience? But in order for us to be patient, we need that second P. We need that pacing. We need that pace. So as long as I can look at the pace and say, like I say in 7 Laws of Retail Leadership, math matters. If I'm hey, I'm not spending all of my energy. I feel like I could go faster. I feel like I could do more. But if my pace indicates that if I do it at this pace over time, I'll get what I want. I'll hit the time I want. I'll do my equivalent of the American record. I'll do those things. And so, and then at the same extent, here's where it gets tricky, right? So it's if I'm being patient, if I've applied some pace, how do I do those things and still be present? So Ryan Hall, great American marathoner, Ryan Hall always used to say, run the mile that you're in. That's what present means in context of the marathon and the race, but it also to me means be in the moment, be in the day. You can't be on the sales floor and thinking about being in the soccer room. You've got to be present with each member of your team in each moment of the day. The day comes in different waves. If you work in big box retail, certainly you have morning rush and you have evening rush and you have a lull in the middle of the day. You need to be present for each of those segments. For the guests, you need to be present for each of those segments. For the team members, you need to be present for the entire community. Then finally, and then this is where it all comes to head. If you've done those first 3 things right, then you've earned the right to get to that 4th P, right? So if you've done it in the order, you've been patient, you've applied proper pacing, you're doing what you need to do, you're being present in the moment. Now you're in a position when it's time to push. And to push hard and to go all out. And so I think whether it's in marathon running or it's in business or it's in life in general, I think we all kind of know the levers to pull, and we're probably pulling some of the right levers some of the time, but we're probably not pulling all the right levers at the right time. And I think that's what Connor's coach shared with him about the 4 P's. That's how you win, right? It's pull the right lever at the right time. So I got to think about in life, I think that for me, what has helped me to achieve certain levels of success is I think that I married the right woman at the right time with the right authority, right? So I feel that because I did those things right, because I got the right eternal companion, because I got the right best friend, because I got the right partner, everything else is easier. It just is. So like if I'm having an internal battle, like in a power struggle in my own home, like I think all the other stuff gets harder. And I think how that applies to business is look, if you've got that one or two like people that are in like maybe they're in key positions, maybe they're not, maybe they're just loud voices, but if you have those people that are just giant distractions, like it's going to be very difficult to be successful. So like hiring and staffing, those are the key choices, like choosing a spouse out in life and choosing a partner for life, choosing the people that you partner to go into business with, whether you're in small business and it's only one or two partners, or choosing the employees. If you're running a large big box store like a Target or a Walmart, or maybe you work for the TGS brands or something like that, like maybe you're running a Lowe's or a Home Depot. So but if you're running a large team, it only takes a couple of people to destroy the culture and to create like a total cancer of the culture. Like that, like it will crush it, and like they will start complaining and like not bringing resolutions. And like, so I recently had somebody hit comment thread and they're like, complaints aren't the problem. Like you need to dig deeper. Like I disagree. So certainly like complaints can be rooted in some other thing, but there are also just some people that no matter what, like they will complain. So I'll share a short leadership story on that. Like I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is really like where the heartbeat of just don't complain over everything for the sake of complaining comes from. So I was a brand new leader at Payless Shoe Source. I was leading a little store in a city called Taft, California. Like you could barely call it a city. It's probably more like a town. It's an oil town. Had a little itty bitty store in it. It's my first trusted like store manager job where I was like the guy in the building. And I inherited an assistant manager. Then she was super experienced. Like she knew retail, she knew shoes, she knew Taft, she knew the things, and she was twice my age. And she was kind of like disgruntled. Like, why the heck did they put this young kid out here to be my boss, right? So over time, I think she saw a little bit of value in what I did, and we really turned that store around, did some good things in there for the limited time we had together. But there was this one day, and so her husband had been a long haul trucker for a couple of decades, and he retired. And on last day of retirement, he got to pick out any car that he wanted brand new off the lot as retirement. Pretty cool retirement gift, right? Like companies don't really do stuff like that anymore, but pretty cool retirement gift. And so he knew his wife had always wanted a Mustang and her favorite color was yellow. So he showed up in front of the store that day and he walked in, and he was a big man, but he was also just broken from decades on the road, right? So he walked through the door in a slow, broken fashion, and he kind of hollered from the front. He's like, "Woman!" And so my assistant manager's like, she wandered up to him, said, "What are you doing here? It's early. What do you want? Did you get fired?" And he said, "Nope. I come here with something for you." And he takes her outside, and like a few minutes later, she comes back in. She's like, "That buffoon got me a yellow Mustang." And she proceeds to tell the story like that he got to pick a car. And I'm like, "Well, why did he get yellow? Yellow is my favorite color. Why Mustang? Mustang's my favorite car. Seems like this should be a really awesome day for you. You just got a brand new." And she's like, "But I don't want a yellow car. And now I'm going to have to drive this thing and be happy about it." So sometimes there are people and there are circumstances where like a complaint is just a complaint. There's no deeper root. Like it's just a complaint. And if you allow a culture at work where that is allowed to fester, it's going to be tough to get things accomplished. It doesn't matter if they're great people that's how they vent. That's not what we're addressing. We're addressing what is the most productive way for everybody to achieve ridiculous results, personally and professionally. Complaining slows us down. Like bringing issues with solutions and resolutions will speed us up. So it's not like you can't ever voice. I don't expect somebody to like step over poison on the floor. Like that's not the thing. But don't walk by the poison on the floor and then come tell 20 people about it when by now you could have already dumped the cleanup kit and cleaned it up. And then don't also be the person that after you clean it up, like you need to go around and report it to 20 people and get credit for it. Like this whole fairness doctrine that we live under in this world, like it's just not fair. Like, man, like fair slows you down. Like that's why, like on the grading scale, right? Like fair is in the middle. So if you want to be a middle performer, be focused on fair. Like, because fair people who are focused on fair are focused on complaining. Like you're not gonna succeed. Now be clear, like you can explain all of these things in like a super like loving matter, like meekness is not weakness. Like you don't have to go on the attack like to get things accomplished. Like law number 5, it says like meekness is not weakness. Like you don't have to go attack. Like you can totally like put your arm around somebody and love on them, and also like raise them up to the standard that like we're here to have the type of culture that makes people feel the way that guests feel at Disney when they think stuffed animals come to life, right? Like we're not here to create okay experiences. We're here to create like magical, blow you away experiences, because that's what creates raving fans. That's what gets people to go tell other people that they should do business with you. Whether you cut the grass, you bag the groceries, you work at Target, or you're a high-priced lawyer, like, or something in between all of those things that I haven't already mentioned. Like that is how you do that. Like when I was at 24 Hour Fitness, I had a personal trainer, and she was elite. She was the best at what she did. And somehow or another, like in building this business where she took home over $250,000 a year as an hourly compensated personal trainer. Like try that out for just a second. Like an hourly compensated personal trainer. There's only so many hours a day, and she took home over $250,000 a year doing what she loved every day. Like, how did she do that? Well, one day, my second youngest son and I, we were running a half marathon in the San Jose half in San Jose, California, and I heard this like loud squeal, and I'm like, I know that voice. Like in the middle of 10,000, 50,000 people, I know that voice. And sure enough, it was my personal trainer, my top most productive personal trainer, the most productive personal trainer in the fleet at that time. And why was she there? Because she had a couple people running the half marathon. So she showed up, took time out of her day, and cheered these people on when she wasn't getting paid. Like that's a different level of experience. Like yes, she did all the other things right. Like she taught nutrition, she drove accountability, she pushed people to their limits. Like nobody ever walked into her workouts excited to do it, and nobody ever walked away from her workout wishing they hadn't done it. Like she pushed you, she grew you, she tested you, she challenged you, she did all the good things, but she also was incredibly supportive. Like she was that perfect blend. Like she had her arm around you, she was supportive, she loves you. Like she was not demanding, she was not overbearing. She did have a whistle, but she illustrated what meekness is not weakness really looks like, because she had a soft heart and a soft soul. But man, nobody would have said she was weak. So like how do you do that? Like you do that by like not borrowing authority. And that's law number 6 in the 7 laws of retail leadership. Like don't borrow authority. Like she didn't say like the expert said, or the company says, or doctors say, or nutritionists said. She was quick to say like, hey, I have helped a lot of people and I want to help you. And in order to do that, I say you need to do this. Like, do you have the confidence as the leader for it to be your idea? Like, does it always need to be somebody's idea in order for something to get accomplished? Does it need to be corporate wants, or the boss wants, or this other store's doing? Or can it just be like, listen, you all know that like I want us to achieve amazing things together, and in order for us to do that, we have to do this. Like do you have like that level of clarity, like where you're at and where you're going? Like this is where we were, this is where we're at, and this is where we're going. And we're going to do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And the great leaders don't even have to tell anybody like whose idea it is, because they just assume it is your idea at the head of the organization. Like it's just an assumption. They don't borrow authority. Like when you borrow authority, then you get yourself backed into this domino effect of the previous like 5 laws out of the 7 laws of retail leadership. Like it's going to domino effect. You're going to undo everything of goodwill that you've done. And then that final one, and this is the one that I love to talk about, and this is what everything builds to. It is like, how do we get everybody to that start line? Like, how does everybody feel like an active participant, not a spectator in what's going on? Like, you have to cast a dream that is so big that everybody fits inside it. A dream that we is incredibly realistic, right? Like, that everybody can see themselves inside of this, of this massive dream, and they can see that the small role or part that they play matters, and that they're going to get an outsized stake relative to their role. So like, that is why, like, how are you going to bring so much joy to them that I feel like that my inputs are going to be greatly outweighed by the what I get to take away from it. Like, because that makes people want to run through a wall. Like, they're like, man, I go put 40 hours in and I get paid X dollars. That's the table stakes. But what else do I get out of it? Like what is this really cool thing that I get to be a part of? Like, don't tell me that you're taking me to the game. Tell me like what the temperature is going to be. Tell me who we're going to be playing. Tell me what the grass is going to feel like between my toes. Tell me if we're going to travel by air, first class. What is going to be provided for me in the cabin? That there are going to be flowers waiting for me when I get off of the plane. Like, make it so clear what's in it for me. And make it so clear that you are at least as concerned with what's in it for me as you are with what's in it for you. So that's like the coolest thing in the world. And I think that really applies to our operational and our support partners in our life. So like, the marathon that I just ran, my wife was there crewing me. So like 54,000 runners, 1 million people cheering us on in Chicago, several million more watching or streaming some of their plays, 11,000 on the street volunteers. But I had my one-man aid station, and so she met me at mile 3, at mile 13, at mile 17, at mile 20, and then at the finish line. I'm a big Diet Pepsi drinker. Like, I love me some Diet Pepsi or Pepsi Zero, and so I don't want to really drink the lukewarm electrolyte beverage that is provided at every aid station along the way in a marathon. Like, I want my ice cold Diet Pepsi or Pepsi Zero. And so at mile 3, my wife was there, and there's a little 6-minute video out there. Like, hit the channel, you can see it. Like, not 6 minutes, it's second. Like, boom, it's that quick. Like, I run up to her at mile 3, she squeals, she's so excited to see me, and I'm barely grateful, if grateful at all. I'm like, hi, I love you. When will I see you again? Mile 13, do you have a headband for me? Yes, I do. And it's very transactional. So there has to be a lot built into that to make her feel like that her time was worth spending there. Like, because she had to park miles from the start line, navigate 1 million people on the street, get to this spot that we agree on so I can spot her, just to give me a dry headband and an ice cold Diet Pepsi, engage with me for under 10 seconds, and then not see me for 10 miles again to get treated a similar way. And then do it again at mile 17, again at mile 20, and then be sitting there at the finish line to take pictures and be happy to see me and make Facebook posts and tell all the world about how awesome I am. Like, let's not forget, like, she was on her feet for between pre-race, post-race, over 8 hours, doing lots of miles on the street herself, with no medal, no credit, no nothing, just to support the mission and somebody that she cared about and loved, in her husband. Like, you have people like that in your personal and your professional life that are the behind the scenes people that are doing these really cool things, to support you, to take care of you. Make sure that you take advantage of the moments you have to recognize them. Make sure that your dream is big enough that they fit inside. Because I continuously say that my wife does all the amazing things to support my dreams. and she makes it possible that I can chase them. Like I no way, no how could chase the things that I chase without her. And I know that each of you have those people personally and professionally. Like slow down, be grateful, tell them how much you appreciate them. Tell them what you love most about it. Tell them what like great support looks like, and they will deliver. So yeah, like let's go out there, like work hard to put all 7 of the 7 laws of retail leadership into practice on a daily basis. Figure out how you can apply the newly discussed 4 P's of that, how you can put those in, like how you can make sure that you have patience, that you have pace, that you are present, and when it's time that you push, right? Remember those 7 laws of retail leadership, like no surprises, be predictable, don't complain. It kills the culture. Like build ridiculous belief, get that energy going, right? Get people believing that you're not a lone nut. Like get some first followers, get them on board. Support it with math matters. Like show them how the math plays in there. Show them that you're a type of leader that'll put your arm around them, that meekness is not weakness. Don't borrow authority. Be willing to take ownership and accountability for you, what you want and what the team want. And then bring it all home with creating a dream and casting a vision that is so big that everybody can see themselves in it succeeding. I love you guys. Let's go get it. Have a great week.